Now, I've said it once, I'll say it again, and I will always say it until this gets rectified. Parliament needs reforming root and stem. And I'm not talking about Conservatives, Labour, left and right, Lib Dems and every party that's involved here. I'm talking about their underlings, the civil servants who should be doing as they are fucking well told, but they're not. You see, the civil servants in the UK, they think they are above the democratically elected MPs, whom we vote for, who we put into office. Now, this video is about the civil servants who should be doing as they're told by their boss, the Home Secretary, Priti Patel. You know Priti Patel, a democratically elected MP who was chosen as Home Secretary by a democratically elected Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. Now, as the old saying goes, shit rolls downhill, which means orders come from above and they trickle down. Well, orders have come from above. They have trickled down from the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, to Priti Patel, the Home Secretary, and those orders should have been carried out by her employees, the civil servants, in order to make sure that things were in place and ready for when the so-called refugees from Syria and Afghanistan and elsewhere are sent to Rwanda. But it hasn't happened. You see, these civil servants, they think it's a cruel thing that's happening, that they want to do to these refugees. And so they would rather the refugees all came here, had houses and benefits, weren't questioned, and, everything was just topsy-turvy, upside down, in my view. Because like most decent-minded people in this country, I would rather we had a strictly controlled immigration system and we just don't let in any Tom, Dick and Abdul who happen to be floating over the channel on their dinghies. Now, you see, I'm old school. I'm from a time where, I'm from an institution, the British Army, where if you were given orders, you did them and you didn't question them unless they obviously went against the Geneva Convention. So yes, even back then you were allowed to question your commander. That came with a price though. You could get a smack in the face, after which you were told you were being a bit silly. But it's evident in the Home Office, in fact in Parliament as a whole, that this is a huge problem. In fact, not long ago during the Brexit debacle, an unknown civil servant got hold of the Foreign Office Twitter account and slagged off the Tory government. These people clearly think they are above the law, and they think they can just undermine democracy. Who the hell do these people think they are? Now, as I said in my previous video, in a recent video, this Rwanda idea to send or ship all the refugees to is a sterling idea. It should have happened years ago. These people who claim to be refugees, who can pay thousands of pounds to people smugglers in the EU and float over on their dinghies in their thousands, should have been dealt with like this from the get-go, from the start. We should have had authorities waiting for them on the beaches, escorting them to a plane and sending them to another country, Rwanda, which is, by the way, a safe country. But all of a sudden you got all these lefties on Twitter saying that Rwanda isn't a safe country and it's a bit of a shithole. But hang on, these are the same lefties on Twitter who had a bit of a hissy fit when Donald Trump called some of these third world countries as shithole countries. However, Rwanda has had a bit of a turnaround. The president of Rwanda has a good reputation. The government has little, if no signs of corruption at all. And it's rather peaceful. So what the hell are these idiots crying for? Because we are sending these refugees to a peaceful country, a safe place from the alleged war-torn countries they're coming from. Now, if I were Priti Patel, I would have all these civil servants sacked on the spot for insubordination. It is high time that people in this country who undermine the will of the people are dealt with accordingly and severely, and they should lose their jobs. Because if you can't serve the people, then you shouldn't work for them. Go work somewhere else. Twitter, perhaps. I think this is absolutely outrageous that unelected civil servants can just undermine elected members of parliament just like that and get away with it. They should be named and shamed and sacked immediately. What is it with socialists and Marxists who think that their ideas, their insane rhetoric and mantra is head and shoulders above freedom and democracy and the will of the people? And it's high time these people paid the price for it. That's what I think. And that's my video. A bit of a rant there, I know, but I'm entitled to it. Free speech is paramount, folks. You will not find free speech in a socialist hellhole. And that's what these civil servants want. They want Great Britain to turn into a socialist hellhole. So they can tell you what to say. They can tell you what to think. Socialism, an idea so good it has to be mandatory. That's how these people think. They are scum. And they have absolutely no fucking idea what they are talking about. I mean, whatever happened to the chain of command in this country? It's gone downhill. It's like a cancer. Political correctness is a cancer. Now, if these civil servants believe that the so-called refugees shouldn't go to Rwanda, they should keep it to themselves. They get employed to do as they're told by their bosses of their departments, i.e. the Home Secretary, Priti Patel, Foreign Secretaries, Chancellor of the Exchequer. They do as they're told. Orders come from above. And if they can't hack it, then leave. Again, it's like the army. If you can't hack it in the army, you leave. Or if you find the infantry regiment you chose to join a bit too hard for you, then you transfer into something else like the engineers, logistics, something a bit easier for you. Anyway, that's that. That's a bit of a rant. But it does get to me why these people in authority, in government, can just do as they wish and undermine the people we elect to do our bidding. It's wrong, isn't it? So wrong. Anyway, that's my video. Please comment, share, subscribe. And until my next video, Roger Daltrey.